In this problem, we are being asked to find the height of the shown cylinder. And in the problem, it is given that the cylinder has a volume of 602 and 88 cubic centimeters, and the radius of that cylinder is 4 centimeters. So what we are going to do is start by writing down the formula to find the volume of a cylinder, which is equal to pi times the radius squared multiplied by the height of the cylinder. The next thing that we are going to do is take all of the given values and substitute those values into our equation. And then that will allow us to isolate the variable that we are looking for, which is the height, and figure out what its value is. So first, let's substitute the value V, which is volume, with 602.88. And we will substitute the value of pi with 3.14. And we are going to substitute the radius with 4. That has to be squared. And we don't know what the height is yet, so we just write the letter H. Next, we simplify our equation a little bit more. So let's write 602.88 is equal to 3.14 multiplied by 4 squared, which is 16. And we still have to multiply that by the height. Now we can simplify a little bit further by writing 602.88 is equal to 3.14 times 16. So we have to multiply that out to figure out what that is. So really quickly, let's go off to the side and figure out what that product is. So we have 6 times 4, which is 24. And 6 times 1 is 6, plus that 2 is 8. And 6 times 3 is 18. We're done with this place value, so we place a 0 here. And then multiply 1 times 314, which is 314. Next, we add up all of the columns. This is 4. This is 12. This column is going to be a total of 10. And this column is a total of 5. And because we have 2 place values after the decimal in the problem, the same should be true in the answer. So now we know that the product of 3.14 and 16 is 50 and 24 hundredths, multiplied by the height, of course. Now what we have to do is figure out what would we multiply 50.24 by to make 602.88, which is the volume. And to figure out what we multiply something by, we just do the opposite of that, which is to divide. So we are going to use a little bit of algebra to isolate the h variable. And we are going to divide this side by 50.24 because that will leave us with 1h on the side of our equation. And that is what we're looking for, is what is the value of h. So we are trying to get h by itself. And we have to do the same thing on the other side to balance out our equation. So we have to divide 602.88 by 50.24. So let's go off to the side and divide 602.88 by 50.24. So first we write 602.88 and we divide that by 50.24. Now, whenever you have a decimal inside your divisor, remember you have to move it all the way to the end of your number to turn this number into a whole number. And if you move this decimal over, you have to move the one on the inside an equal number of spaces. So let's move this decimal point 2 place values to the right, and then we move it directly above, and that's where it is going to stay. So now we divide 5024 into this number, and it cannot go into 6 or into 60 or into 602, but it can fit into 6028 one time. So we have to write a 1 at the end of 6028. And one group of 5024 is 5,024. And when we subtract that from 6,028, that leaves us with 1,004. Next, we bring down the next digit, which is an 8, giving us a value of 10,048. And 5,024 fits inside 10,048 exactly 2 times, leaving us with no remainder. So now we know what the height is. The height is equal to 12 centimeters. And that is how you can find the unknown height of a given cylinder if you are given the radius as well as the volume.